Good afternoon. My name is Debbie Epps, and we're going to be looking at adding some embellishment to pours and jelly printing some cards and coasters. And this is a live recording of a Ustream. So I am talking to people in the chat. If you're watching on Ustream, you can just mute it and fast forward and get past our chat if you need to. Hi, Mindy. Hi, Cindy. Let's see. Hi, Kat. All right, so the first thing I was going to show you is a couple things I had to update. I'll talk about this in a minute. Jane and I talked about Tyler, and she didn't feel like it was close enough to Tyler. Mainly it was, we were looking at two different pictures. So she gave me a better picture, and we're going to do Tyler with baby Delilah. So in working on this last night, I smudged the mat in trying to get it working on the eyes. That was the main problem. It was the eyes. And again, in the photograph that I had, the eyes were looking downward. And so she's given me a better photo with Tyler and Delilah that probably shows his person. It's just a better picture. So I'm going to redo it. I'm going to do both of them. They'll be together and it'll be landscape. But in making this one cleaned up, what I ended up doing was I wanted to take the name Tyler off. So I just put some scrapbook paper in the corner. And then, like I said, I had a pencil smudge over here that I couldn't get off because I was bad. I didn't take it out of the mat and I was trying to work on it. So what I did was, this is napkin from Shauna that she sent me. So I cut pieces of that napkin and put the napkin all the way around the mat, which I think plays with the purple here. And then there's a couple butterflies from the napkin that I used on the background. So I'm just going to list it. I tried doing the eyelashes, but the eyelashes didn't show up. So I'm going to just list it in my Etsy store. And someone who's either loves purple and puppies, somebody will end up taking it along the way. So I'm not really worried about it. And we'll redo Tyler and baby Delilah. So if you'll remember when we were doing a pour, I had some page protector down and I poured some of this extra paint. Well, I set the cup down and made 2 rings, and then I came back and put Mod Podge over them on the page protector. And when that dried, I peeled it off and it was a really thin layer. So I decided that this needed, well, I was wanting to really use these. And I thought that this needed something, and it had that same kind of yellow in it. And then the turquoise would pop. So what I did was I laid these down with gel medium. So now it just needs another coat of gel medium. And then I'm probably going to, after I do a couple coats of the varnish, I'll probably give it kind of a light sanding just to make sure that it's smooth on the surface, and then continue to varnish it or spray it with triple thick. So, and it goes over the sides. So I thought that turned out cute. I don't know how I'm thinking it needs to go like this, and I'm probably just going to put my initials down here. And you can still see some of the cells in the original pour. But I thought that was kind of cute. And then this one had an orange spot that really was nothing. So I remembered a napkin that I had from Paula with this really cool peacock in the gold and the purple, and I knew that the colors would go. So I cut the napkin out and I left the back layer on. I left the back layer on so that I could glue that down first. And then I took, after that dried, I put opaque white paint and a layer, and then that's dried. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the gel medium, and I'm going to start at the top because I have to line the top up. So I'm just going to kind of roll this up so I can leave it off the canvas. Because I want to try to line that up so as little white shows as possible. And now I'm going to add some more gel medium to the bottom. And then I'll put a layer on the top. The white underneath will allow it to pop. Because if it went translucent, it would blend into the background and it would disappear. And I just need to be careful that I'm not tearing. And then I'm going to let that wrap around the edges. Alright, and then let's dry that real quick. So this is one of the ways you could use some of the focal points or images in your napkins. So heat gun. And then I'm going to take the Pitt pen and I'm just going to hit some of these areas where the white might show. You want to make sure that's dry to like see where this white showed through right here because the napkin was cut a little differently. I cut them at the same time, but I may have done that after the fact. And I'm just going to go down the edges. And then I'll just make sure that I don't have any white showing. And then I'm going to use the purple up here. Turn that. Right, and right here is kind of where it's not purple, it's kind of more the background. So I'm just going to use an orange pen. And blend it. And I'm going to sign it. I don't know if I want to use that. I don't think I want to use that tip. I'm going to sign it right here. Did that pin start it? For some reason, it's bleeding. May not be letting it dry enough. You try a different pin. Let's try a Faber-Castell. Well, it doesn't want me to sign right there. I think I'm hitting the edge of gel medium. So let's try. And this is a dry baby wipe, so. There we go. And so then that one I'll have done. I just need to let it, to clean this part over here a little better. Make sure there's no silicone over here on it left. Give it a coat of varnish or two. And it'll be done. So I think it turned out, like I said, I think he played on the colors really pretty and just real simple. So this one here, I'm not going to do anything to. I don't even want to sign it on the front, I don't think. I'm just not sure where to sign it because I'm not sure how anybody wants to sign to hang it. I mean, I tend to think of it, I think I like it this way best, but somebody else might want to hang it differently. So I think I'm just going to clean this one and varnish it. And then I saw something on Pinterest that I may do with these. And it, because somebody had asked me for lake house. So I saw something where it was like a silhouette of pine trees and then like someone fishing in a boat. And it was all black. So I thought about, if I made like almost some white, some black, maybe like a reflection of, put a moon up, maybe do a lake and some trees in black and white or gray and black. I'll show you on Pinterest on my phone. I saved it. I think it's in my gallery too. It's gonna be hard to see. Can you see how it's just a silhouette? And the background's pretty much all the same. So there's one fishing, a family in a boat. These are cutouts that they were actually selling. Like you'd lay down a cutout frame, different layers of cutouts. Like 3D cutouts is what it was called. But I thought I could do something similar by doing a lake scene. So that's what I think I'm going to do on those. But I haven't like made up my mind. And I still need to find what I want to put on me and Bobby McGee. So it reminds me of a beach. Alright, but today we're gonna jelly print some cards and maybe use some magicals. I also have some coasters that we might jelly print on. I was trying to pour on them, but that didn't work. So I have my 5x7 jelly plate. I've pulled some stencils. I thought we'd use some of the paints that I'm in love with now from Shauna, those colors. These I made, they're just gel medium on cardstock, and I made them for when I'm making cards. And the way that I use them is to try to keep part of the card clean. And I've got two of them. One fits different, they fit different size cards. That one works good. Alright, so basically when I jelly print, I can jelly print the front of the card and try to keep this part of the card where the sentiment is clean. So that's what this is if you see me using it. And the coasters are just the kind you get like in restaurants, but they're plain. So I thought we might jelly print on those. I don't know if we need to gesso them first, but I don't think so. The gesso peeled when I gessoed them for the pour. So I'm going to start with my favorite color lately is the Naples Yellow. I think I'm going to use the smaller brayer today. And I just cleaned my plate, so it may beat up a little bit. And I want to put something with a fairly small. And I'm going to get a clean piece of paper to use. So I don't get the inside of the card dirty. Try to keep it clean. Alright, so that got a little on there. I also have some tissue set to the side. Let's see if I can pick up what's left. Let's put that on a different card. We'll add more to that first one. I also put out some dauber paints that I got at Tuesday morning that I don't like, that I kind of want to use up. Oh, that turned out really pretty. So let's take the turquoise. This is a metallic. There's never enough places to put things. Way more than I need. Okay, I'm gonna leave that kind of heavy. And let's try this print. Let's just go ahead and put it on here. I think it might be a little easier to do this on the bigger plate in some ways. But then you also have the extra stuff, the extra space. But you do have to line it up. Hi, Lori. Hi, Jean. Hi, Susan. Excuse me. Okay. Well, that's pretty. Okay, and I'm going to call that one done. And it got just a little bit right back here, but actually, for a jelly printed card, not too much mess. Okay, there's still enough. Let's take some tissue again. Sorry, I have my phone on because Bob may call. And he's going to call at dinner, so I don't really want to miss that call. Otherwise, I got to figure out what to eat in the house. What I thought is, if this will either get used in another project, or we can use it to embellish a card later. Actually, it's really pretty. So we'll put that aside. I think I'll let that dry. Unless we just want to put it. Let's go ahead and just put it over this. Because we also might play with some magicals later. And if we leave some white space, there'll be room for the magicals. Try not to get my dirty paper or the dirty hand on there. Okay, it's crooked, but I'm not going to worry about that because I might just embellish it. I'm not sure I like it, but we can cover it up too. Just keep layering. Alright, I'm going to let that sit there. Let's go with a bronze. Actually, there's enough paint on here Let's go ahead and use that real quick. I don't think we'll get 2 prints though. These cards are pretty thick. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Carrie. Oh, that's pretty. Let's leave that and use that with magicals later, because we'll have some good white space. And let's let that dry, because it's basically dry anyways. And we'll put bronze on top of it. I'm using way too much paint. Because I'm not used to this size. Used to having either 2 plates out. Right, so we'll do that. We'll save that. There's too much goodness. Okay. Kind of thinking I don't really like this card here. So if we put something on it where just bits of yellow and turquoise show, the pattern won't matter. So I think I'll use this. Yeah, when I go back and forth between the different plates, especially I notice it when I go to the smaller ones. I've been working with a larger. Okay, not my cup of tea, but again, maybe somebody else's. Keep working on it. It is, the bronze went kind of green. Magicals could help too if you minimize the white. So let's just put it over there. There's still quite a bit of turquoise. I think I'm just going to stick a card on that. And pick that up as a background. This card's a little smaller. It's probably an A4. Yeah, I haven't. I've just done it as I needed something. Okay. Kind of more of that same. I don't know if I like the bronze. Let's use up what's here. And I think I'm just going to stick a card on it and not even do a pattern. I didn't use my little protector on that one. Ooh, not really anything. So let's put buttermilk and see if we can do a cleanup. Kind of like the Titan buff, and it won't have a whole lot of Titan buff in the background. We'll just do it on that same card. Yeah, I have that problem at my house, that I have a really hard time getting a ghost ever. Unless I use the open paint. Okay. I will tell you, this is gotta go. It's driving me crazy. Y'all notice I got a new craft mat. No more black. This will be good grunge if it. Okay. Again, not my favorite colors. I like over here real well, but I don't like the bronze. Right, let's try some of this paint. It's not even open, and I guarantee you it's not very good. Some of them I went in, I barely opened, and I already threw one away. It was bought at the same time as these were, and it wasn't any good. So they may have been old. Like I said, I got them at Tuesday morning. So they may have been old when I got them. I looked at some Liquitex Basic paint there, and it was in a jar. And I opened the first, they had two reds. It was my favorite color, red from Liquitex. And they had two jars, and I opened the first one because I just was leery about it. And it was not wet. It had already started to gel. So I didn't even open the second one. Yeah, I like the pattern. Okay, so let's use this. It's kind of a lettuce green. I'm either going to use these paints in pours or jelly print. I just want to get rid of them. This is what this paint does to me all the time. And it bubbles up on the plate. Okay. Let's do this as a background. And when I know the plate's not doing that, like right now. I mean, it did when I first cleaned it. Just not my favorite paint. Yeah, the daubers don't work, so I don't even try to use the daubers. That's pretty. I'm gonna let that dry, and then we're gonna put some magicals on that. And let's put this on some tissue. I'm gonna get my hands dirty, invariably. Okay. I like that because it just kind of obscures some of that writing. That down, and I think just use this one as a background. We'll need another piece of white paper. That one too dirty? I don't worry about getting as dirty when I'm just doing papers. Well, that picked up, that's kind of cool. That picked up some grunge from the other layers. Okay, let's leave that. Let's see what this darker turquoise. I have to pour them because they don't come out any other way. Okay. Let's try this really modern print. We'll go ahead and put it on the back on this one right here. Yeah, I just don't feel like doing that today, Jean. I've done that before where I use both plates. I've had my 8x10 and my 5x7. I also have the circle ones. I just don't feel like dealing with it. I just was printing some cards because Terry had asked me to on YouTube. See, that one bled into the inside. I like it. I like that it's messy. I don't mind that it's messy. Um, let's let that dry. I'm running out of places to dry stuff. Let's take that paper from earlier and get a little of this off. Before we take the stencil off. Like that. I'll use that on something. I have to brayer right-handed. Cleaning the plate. Alright, let's let that dry. Put that aside for using for a bunny or something. Okay, I'm going to put these up for paint pours because I'm already tired of those colors. What do we want to use with this turquoise? Not just a Titan buff type paint. And we'll let it dry and we'll just do a cleanup print. It's almost dry. Yeah, see, and I'm not buying any of the oxides because they're not permanent. They're cool, but since they're not permanent, not so much. Still a couple wet places on here. But I did use less paint. I'm just going to do a cleanup. And it's got to be straight because of that pattern. Yeah, even when the price goes down. But I don't have any Dilutions paint either. I do need to replace some of my colors in the Liquitech Basics and some of the Americana. But that's a good background. Let that dry. Let's let that dry and put a pop of, let's do a little bit of burnt sienna and a little bit of Camden red. Go use that stencil. Maybe not too wild about that color. Alright, I'm going to put that on tissue. Okay, like that. I'll let that dry. Let's see if we can get this on a card and how much of it we can pick up. I don't know if I'm going to mess with the coasters today either. Yeah. But right now I'm not spending any money. Unless it's, I bought the craft mats. I did break down and buy those colored pencils, but I didn't spend much. Right now it's not about spending money, so till school gets started again. We did find out that Bob can wait till December to have his surgery. Alright. I don't like that as it is. But if you put a sentiment on it, somebody will like it. It's just not my colors. Kind of masculine. Alright, let's clean off the plate. Do something different. I must not be in the mood to, nothing truly is wowing me. Okay, so let's look at what that needs something on top of it. This needs something on top of it. The same color might work. Thinking about this metallic cobalt blue, or I'm thinking about a gold or a copper. I don't want to put a gold on that. My first thought was red, but I didn't like the reds or the brown on top of it, so I think I'll do the blue right now. All right, thanks for stopping in. Cage fish, Carla. All right, I'll close. Let's pick out. Let's do circles. It's got, I had something stuck to the stencil. Okay, let's. A little pile of cards is just about gone, so then we'll probably switch to the magicals. Is Eileen here? Can we use magicals without Eileen? Oh, kind of like that one. I'll call that done. And let's put this on a clean one. Hi, yeah, it has been a PETA. When I was in Carla's, it did the same thing it did to me at Dee Dee's. I would put a comment in and I would hit enter and I didn't see it. And the chat wouldn't move even if I was being quiet. I would have to go out and then come back in to refresh the feed to see my own comment or to see other comments that had been made. And it's never done that to me before. Okay, loving that one. And I'm probably going to call it done unless we add some magicals. All right. Let's just put more of that blue. Actually, I want to try something. I want to do a little bit of gold. I'm going to do a little more blue on this side. Let's see what we get. All right, I think I want to do the chevron. And I've got to use 2 stencils to get enough coverage. Even then, it probably have a little bit of a gap. Let's put it on this one. We have nothing to lose. It's just paper. That's the first time, Jean, that it's done that to me is today on my phone. It's kicked me out before when I didn't comment. It's kicked me out. But it even when I made my own comment, I couldn't see it, and I had just commented something. I was having to go out and in. That's no good. That stencil needs to be washed. I guess it's hit its time. This chevron stencil's real thick. It's not one of mine. It's a Heidi Swap stencil. So I'm going to just brayer so I can make better contact. We'll see. I don't know. Oh, I kind of like it. And there's a gap here, so I'll put the sentiment across here. Okay. Put this on a card. Let's see if we can get anything off of it. Hi, Ange. This morning in Dee Dee's is the first time that's happened to me. And I'm on my phone all the time when I'm at other people's. Okay, again, I'll have to put something to kind of disguise where the seam where the 2 stencils were. But I'm going to call that one done. I might add some magicals to it. Alright, let's let that dry. Let's do some gold just by itself. I don't know if it'll pick it up or not. We'll see. Like I said, I'm thought out of the cards that I put out. Might as well keep the mat relatively clean while we can. Though I did get 2 for $12, which I didn't think was a bad price. They're the oven mats. They're not as heavy as like the craft mat from Ranger, but they are bigger. May need a pop of something. Let's see. It's still got blue. Let's just clean this up and let's switch gears. I am not feeling it today. But I am getting some color combinations that I don't normally use. So that's probably a good thing. Okay, let's put that up. Put the stencils we used away. Put the jelly plate back. The other thing, I did keep out some stencils that we can maybe stencil some focal. Oh, these are hard to get back in the tray. Alright, so let's look at what we have. We also have some white cards. We can just do magicals on the white cards. Alright. This needs a pop of something. Let's try magicals on this because it's got a big white background. Unless we put tissue over it and let that be. Might do magicals and then add tissue. It's got more of that yellow on it. So that's magicals. This is the magicals pile. This is the put a pop of paint through a stencil. Okay, magicals. It either needs paper, like another print. It needs something. Gonna leave that one as it is because I like it as it is. That one we're gonna do magicals. It's not dry though. I'm gonna put it over here. This one I think we should leave as is. This one I think we should leave as is. That one I think we should just add like a piece of embellishment. That needs a pop of paint. Magicals. That one I think I want to leave as is. I might put a sentiment on it. So that's 4 that we're leaving as is. We've got some tissue that I'll put up to use on the project. Not using any of that. I'm going to move my poor tissue stash. I'll have to take a picture of it. It'll make everybody cringe, and Ange will feel better because it's just this explosion in a corner. I'll take a picture and tweet it later. And I keep saying I'm going to go through it, and it never happens. Okay. So let's put the, gotta add a pop of paint to the side. Here's the magical ones. We've got 4 to do magicals on. Get rid of those stencils we didn't use today. And then we've got some just to do the magicals on. Magical box of magicals. I didn't do anything with the coasters. Not gonna worry about it today. Okay. So now I think the paint will resist. I'm leaning towards this orange and copper, these reds, and doing those on the blue background, the 2 blues. Let's see how that does. Alright, so let's take, this is my thing for my cameo. Maybe I should do the brush. Alright, so there's a little of that one. Whoop, there's a lot of that one. And that was the copper. And this is the orange. Just trying to stay in one place on the mat for the most part. But kind of mix them up. And this is Red Hot Poker Orange. The main thing I've noticed the difference is the secondary color. Okay, so you probably can't see too much of that on the mat right now. But what we'll do is we'll get it wet. Let me put my little card guards on those. Alright, and let's move them out of the way for a minute. Alright, so let's add water. Trying to spray from afar so I didn't get too much splatter. Alright, let's Smack and drag them. Alright, I don't know if I like that on the blue. I am gonna blot it down just a little bit. I think it needs something else over here. So let's let that one dry. Let's do just a blank one. Okay, it needs a little more in that area. They're gonna end up with some bleed, but alright. Let that one dry. I can get it to sit. Okay, do we want to add something to this from the box? Let's add a pink to it. There's enough water there. I don't need more water right now. Okay, that added some pink to it. Autumn Maple Crimson. Alright, I'll add some water now. And let's put the turquoise in there. Alright, let's let that dry. Run out of place to set that stuff, and it's dripping on the carpet. You don't care about the carpet. Alright, I like that pink added over here. Let's add another layer of this reddish color. See, I like that with that red. Alright, I'm going to call that one done. Needs to just dry. See how there's different colors in different areas? Let's put another, let me dry this real quick. Add block. trying to tell me stuff. All right, I'm going to turn the heat gun. I'm going to dry this before I put another layer. Trying to dry it over to the side. All right. Let me get a guard off the other one. So I don't get the back too. And I want to get that redder color, the more pink. And I'm not gonna, I want some of those dots to dry. So let's dry it. And let's let some of those watermarks intensify. See if there's anything left in my brush. All right, let's do that again. Let's dry. I think I'm gonna call that one done. That one's got some really pretty marks on it. I don't know if you can see on the camera. But I'm gonna call that one done. All right, and I think I'm done with all that color, but I don't really want to be done. Like, I don't want to waste it, so I'm just going to put a napkin back on it and let the color soak in, and then I'll let them dry. And I'll either use them as they are. You know what they remind me of? Jane Davenport napkins that have all the color splatter. But I'll just let this dry, and then that will have a real pretty soft effect on something down the road. Just gotta find a place to let it hang. You know, I'm gonna get magicals on my brace. That's the next color du jour. Be. All right. So, give that one more kind of clean. Alright. We want to use what color with this card? I'm leaning towards the greens. Just go with the greens. I have a lime, an olive, and a lime. So I'm going to go with those. And we'll do an empty card too. I have 3 sets. I have the autumn set, Halloween set, and the industrial chic. I need more sets. Because this is I love these. Because you can add them to gel mediums. You know, you can add it to Mod Podge and make a glaze. You can add it to water in a sprayer and make a spray. You can use it the way we're using it today. And that's a lot of color coming right there that I just put out. You can also use it in, I use it in iridescent or modeling paste and make I like it in the iridescent medium by Liquitex Basics. And again, this brush is picking up quite a bit. So again, this was Ponderosa Pine Olive, Freaky Franken Lime. That's from the Halloween. This is from the Autumn. And then Rusty Lantern Lime is from the Industrial. So that's one of each. All right, let's spray the mat again up high. This one we're going to call the Jean and Eileen mixture. Because that's some yumminess right there. As in ice baby Eileen. And there is one of those greens was kind of a turquoise. Some of it's not mixed up. Alright, I'm going to let that sit and do its thing for a minute. And let's get an empty card. Oh. Let's just leave that one just like it is. Okay, we got another card. This may be my favorite combo so far. Let's let this one dry and we're going to add more layers to it. This one I want to add more to it also. Let's dry this one. I need to get this little bit off the bottom. Okay. Let's dry it real quick. You know what this one needs? This one needs one of Xandra's mermaids on it. Because it looks like seaweed. I want more water up here. Okay. It's too much green on that. Let's try. Too much Ponderosa. Let's put another layer on this. We'll darken this one up. You guys probably can't see the shimmer. I'm going to dry some of those spots before I go in again. I think I want to go in one more time. Maybe right there. Yeah, that's good. Let's dry that. When you dry with your heat gun, you create puddles and watermarks. Because as you evaporate the water, the color will intensify. Alright. I think this one is done. And like I said, I think it needs... Don't you guys agree? Like, it would be really cool to have one of Z's mermaids on it. Because it looks like seaweed. And when you look close, you can see that the paint underneath and some of the texture. You may not be able to see it on the camera as much. All right, so I think I'm going to call that one done. And let's try this one a little more. I think it's done too. It's a real pretty green. I'm going to dry it from the other side. It didn't make a lot of watercolor marks, but there's some real pretty iridescent on it. As a background for something. I don't think I want to add any more to it though. We'll see. Might add something different. We're going to have to get rid of that. And this one turned out really pretty. I just let it be what it was. Let's try this. And this has got shimmer along the bottom too. And some of that broke out into some yellow and some blue. Alright, and then let's napkin this. I like when there's splatter marks. When you put too much water and you lose some of the splatter marks, it's not as appealing to me. Let me dry this a little bit before I pick it up much. Better. Alright, let's put those green napkins to the side to dry. Those will be good on collage. Get rid of that before we go to the next color. Now you can use this paper towel too. You can use or use baby wipes. I don't use them. Okay. What do we want to put on this? And that's my last one. I'm thinking of turquoise. And I have a turquoise spray. I don't want in it, but let's put some water in here. And we'll get a real light turquoise spray. And we'll just spray this one. It's the last one. I just want to get rid of the white. There was no spray in there, right? Look at all of that color. And I just added some water to the bottle. And then I'm going to blot that with a napkin. Okay, put that napkin away. Now the question is, do I want this tissue? Oh, I think I do. It'll go mostly translucent. I think I'm done with the magicals. Now I'm ready to switch gears to the collage. I'm just going to add gel medium everywhere over the front. And I'll cut the extra off later. And then I'm going to add gel medium down the front. Let's give it a little squirt here and there. There's not much in here. And I'm going to dry that real quick. So I'm going to turn on the heat gun. Here's scissors. Trim. Not the card, but the tissue. Now you can also like use the wet paintbrush and pull that away. Okay. See, I think that's cute as it is, but I think what I'm going to do is find the right girl on a pattern. It's probably what I'll end up doing. Some of these aren't vintage enough. They're too tall. The really old ones have a variety of sizes. But I don't see one right now, but I'll look for one of the girls that I like from a pattern. If she wasn't torn and, you know, something like that. Like she would have been perfect, but she's missing part of it, so. I'll dig through those. I have another box out in the garage. I'll dig and I'll find something that goes right here because I think one of those sewing girls would be really cute on that one. That one's done. I don't think I want to do anything to this right now. Maybe tissue later. I don't want to do anything but maybe a mermaid later. I may just leave that one. This one needs a sentiment. I think I have. It needs like a strip to go across. You know what I can put on a couple of those watercolor ones? These would be really pretty on one of those. And I hadn't known what I wanted to use them on. I may use those on the cards. Find something we can put across there. That might work. Might be too girly. This is kind of how I do it. Ghost figures. Do you see faces? Silver is a possibility. Here's some thank yous. Those are always good to stick on them. Miss you. Alright, I lost my place. Come back. Focus. This is what I was thinking of. for one of them. Maybe not this one. I knew I had this long piece from a pad. I just keep a box of stuff and I just dig through it. A lot of it's in my old scrapbooking stuff that I find ways to use. I hate that buzzing and doing that. It drives me nuts. I usually keep my ringer off. And then Bob gets mad at me because I don't answer my phone. If you just send me a text, I would see it. Not for this, but there's another one I need to do this on real quick. That needs something long and skinny. This is YouTube, where if you get tired of waiting, this is where you roll it forward. Because I'm digging. Because it's a live show. And it's not planned. And the video's not edited. So if this frustrates you, I get it. Usually I pull stuff and I have it all ready. But when you jelly print, you just don't really know where it's going. Not for this, but like this is a big stamp that someone sent me. That's another thing that could be pretty on one of the cards. I don't think it goes today on what we've done, the colors. Washi tape is another idea for across there. I'm just about through to the end of the box, so bear with me. Yeah, don't email me, people, as Dee Dee would say. If you were here, then you would know what was going on, and you would be visiting. We're happy you're watching. That's what I do. I fast forward a lot on videos when I watch on YouTube. Not because there's streams and they're talking. I just power through them. Alright, I don't like this on there, but I'm going to grab the washi tape. I don't have a lot of washi tape, but I do have some black. I am woefully low on washi. Purples, greens. None of those are going to work. That's for school. That's not even the real washi. Here we go. Here's a couple orangey reds. I kind of like those more than the black. I don't want to use the New York one. So let's, and there's one other card that we need to do this for. So let's do both of them at the same time. This one, I don't know. I know what I want on this one. Let's go with the red on this one. Actually, I take that back. May need a black and then a red. I don't know if it pops enough, y'all. Let's try this on this one. This one, it pops, and when I add that little medallion, it'll make more sense. And let's try the yellow, the green. Let's try the black, because black pretty much always works. This is my favorite washi, and I'm going to be out of it. I don't know where I got it. Came in a set, probably. I don't even know. I know I've got the two Tim Holtz, and then some of these came like in a set. Alright, so let's take and put there's some shells and some fish, and I'm thinking about doing 3, like no sentiment. Just, I don't know why this is not. Oh, it's in a plastic on top of it. These are like stamps, but they're that raised. Yeah, I thought about the black, then the red. So I'm going to call that one done. And I'm going to get this one back. And let's put no tape or anything. This has got like a blue and a coral color. And let's just do it just like that and no sentiment and call that one done. And then on this one, there's a fish. I kind of like this fish with the coral that's got the orange color. So that gives a set of 3. Let me see if I can find one more that maybe kind of goes with that. We have a green one. We have just the plain green. Let's do the plain green one. And there's a lighthouse. And let's put the lighthouse right in that corner. So that's kind of like a pair that match. And then that. And then I can either sell them individually or a set of 4. So there's 2 that are the chevron and 2 that are just the watercolor. And they all have those little stamps on them. So I like those. Okay, this needs something added to it. could add that So Happy together and pop some black. I think I'm going to put black paint maybe on these through a stencil. This one needs something to calm it down. All right, let's think about this one. And let's get, I know what stencil I want, I think. I kind of think I want our friend here from Andy Skinner. He won't be all the way on there. I'm thinking kind of like that. And black paint. And then let's ditch that. I don't think I'm going to use those. And then maybe we'll use that steampunk. Here's what I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to put Harlequins in black. I'm just going to stencil both those in black. I'll keep it simple. Give it that little pop of black. I knew I wanted to use him today. Okay. So I'm going to line that up a little bit. And I'm just using a cosmetic sponge, and I'm trying to keep it dry so it doesn't get bleed under real bad. So I'm going to kind of start off the stencil and work my way in. That may be all that ugly red one needs. But I have an idea too, I think, of some paper to use on it. I'm trying to move my hand, but I don't want to move the stencil or the card. Just bouncing straight up and down. May have got a little bleed on that one there. And then I'm going to come back and darken it in a couple places. I don't feel like the paint was dark enough. Okay. I'm happy with that. set that stencil aside. And let's line up the harlequins so they're kind of straight. Use same black paint. Now this I could have done on the jelly plate with the black. But sometimes I just like to straight up stencil. And I know where I have control of where it's going. Okay. Till you get an injury, you do not know. I thought I was fairly ambidextrous. Till my little wing here was injured, and then I had to kind of avoid using my hand, and found a lot of things that I really don't do very well right-handed. Okay. That's pretty. It needs something else. Now let's see. Let's just put that on it, and we'll just cut the little end off. It's too short for this direction. Plus I don't like, let's put it right there. Okay, this is a baby white, but it's dry. Let's trim this off from the back. Let's put a little coat on the front. And I'm probably rushing it. Alright, so that'll dry. And we'll call that one done. Kind of goes with that other dude. Alright, let's... Alright, let's get rid of... Can't believe I'm wasting that black paint, can you? Alright, let's put that up because I'm not using that. I said that's really school washy. Okay. This one, I think, could just use one of these little birds or lighthouses or seahorse. Let's put this little seahorse one down in the corner. And call it done. I have an idea for this one. Let me put this stuff up real quick. I'm going to see if I have some cream colored paper that's vintage. Well, let's just do music paper. Those are too wide. Try to find one. This works. This is a school primer, like a children's piano book, or I don't know. Let's cut this right here. And let's just give it, oh, I tore 2 pages instead of 1. Life will go on. I'll get used later. Let's put that on there. It's a French folk song. Evening winds. Mean anything to you, Jean? And then I'm still going to stick one of these little C stamp things on there, I think. Cut that from the back. Glue that right there. She's an old gift card. And there's a sandpiper. I'm going to put that little sandpiper there. Actually, I'm going to put them down here. So he can kind of go in with the C set. I think we're out of cards. I think we've embellished them all, fixed them all. Here's our little napkins. See how pretty that is? It's got the shimmer from the Magicals. Ended up with 2 green ones, 2 in the orange and 1 in the turquoise. Okay. So there's our little peacock that we worked on. feel like there should be a card sticking somewhere that we didn't do something with, but I don't see any. I don't even know how many I took out. I'm just trying to put some of the stuff back where it goes. Pretty sure that was it. But there. So here's the cards we ended up with. So Happy Together. Evening Winds with the little sandpiper. Our industrial guy. This one with the seahorse. This one has just like a little shell. This one has a lighthouse. This one has a shell, a fish. This one I didn't do anything to, and this one, that's where they are. I think we ought to send this one to Xandra to put us, and she can put a mermaid on it. And on this one, there's a sailboat. That's real pretty. I like it like this, like the sky. Let's put that little sailboat in the corner. And leave that one as it is. And then this one we just need to add a little girl from one of the sewing patterns. So we ended up with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cards. Not too bad. And then the only other thing that I might do, I considered, is maybe I want to take and stamp like sewing. This is a Bo Bunny stamp. I don't know if I want to do that or not. Could stamp like the stitching mark on it, but I don't think I want to do that. Kind of like them just sort of simple as they are. No sentiments. They can decide. A couple of them are taller than the others. So that is probably it for me. For those of you who came in late, Jane and I decided that this wasn't enough like Tyler in the eyes. That was the problem. The photo she gave me didn't, the eyes, he was looking down, so it really didn't show his expression in his face. So I'm going to do a different one with Tyler and Delilah when she was a baby. That's real cute. And when I was working on this one, I messed up the mat. So what I did is I used some scrapbook paper back here to add some pattern. Then this is napkin. And I put it on the mat. I had gotten, right in here, I'd gotten a pencil mark on it. And I couldn't get it off. And I liked how the lavenders, I tried doing the eyelashes on it, but they didn't show up. So I couldn't really make it whimsical. So I'm going to list this for sale in my Etsy, just as a puppy. And then I did, this was a so I've used napkins a lot today. And this was a napkin that I added to a pour. We underpainted it with the white. And this was the drips from the cup. And what I did was I put them on a page protector. When I was pouring, I had a page protector, like a scrapbook page protector out. And then I took, after it was dry, I put a layer of the gel medium. This is the other from that day. I'm not sure I'm going to use. I might use a piece of this. I haven't put anything. It's hard to peel off here, but you have to put another layer of the gel medium to help it be thicker when you peel it off. So after I let those dry, I put those on there. I think it's going to hang that way. And we gel printed and embellished the cards. Hi, Christy. So that finishes me up for today. We've pretty much destroyed. I can't believe Tay Tay has not asked to come in here. Demanded. Who are we kidding? She doesn't ask. She demands. She must be sleeping. All right, let me stop the recording.